Good morning, Shalja ma'am. Good
Good
morning,
morning. Good morning, Natasha ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Prasad from RLJDAV Public School, Raniganj, Kolkata.
Ma'am, I am
Good
from
morning.
Good
DAV
morning, Shailaja
Asansol.
ma'am. This is Shomo of DAP Public School, Haldia, West Bengal.
Good morning, Soumya sir. How are you?
Yes,
Good
I'm doing
morning,
fine,
ma'am.
ma'am. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, ma'am.
You're always a great help, sir.
Nothing to mention, ma'am. It's my pleasure, ma'am, to be. It's my privilege and pleasure, absolutely pleasure, ma'am, to be the part of this privileged group, ma'am, of the MPs group. It's not only that, even when I require, ma'am, help, I get always, ma'am. It's ready, like magic band.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Arushi ma'am, should I start?
Good morning, ma'am. I'm
Good
Sudarshan
morning,
Chan
sir.
from DAV School, Raniganj.
Ma'am, you can go ahead.
Okay. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I welcome you all to this webinar. And as you all know, that traditional English teaching methods, they cannot address the need of the current situations, current students, because the students are more creative and they believe in more creative and meaningful education. So in this 21st century, these young learners, the awareness of this lifelong learning has become very acute, and they are not satisfied to learn English in the standard and monotonous ways. So we have to find new ways to teach them English. So, first of all, I would like to welcome you all and to this need-based virtual training workshop, Panchkula Zone 2021, under the aegis of DAV New Delhi. We are very thankful to Dr. Nisha Peshin, Director Academic DAV Dr. V Singh, Director DAV Public Schools DAV CMC, Dr. BC Josen, Regional Officer, and Mrs. Jaya Bharadwaj, Cluster Head Panchkula Zone and Principal Hansraj Public School. Today I am Shalja Sharma and I'm going to share with you certain valuable inputs on arts and sports integration in language teaching and learning process. We all are going to share a common platform and to enhance our knowledge, and I hope by the end of this webinar we all will be enriched. And during the session, the link for the feedback and the questionnaire will be shared in the chat box. You have to fill and submit both before leaving the meeting. So let us begin with an icebreaker session. This is fun with letters. You've got to unjumble these letters so that they make up some very valuable values which we teach to our students in class. So I'll give you 2 minutes to do it. Let's see if somebody has been able to do it. Should I zoom it?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. It's okay?
Could you please repeat, ma'am? Actually, I joined the late due to network issues.
These are some jumbled words, ma'am. You've got to unjumble them, and these are some of the values we teach to students.
Okay.
Ma'am, I
Yes,
can
ma'am.
tell for number 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it empathy?
Yes, ma'am. It's empathy, 100%. So should I give you the answers? If you see, these are the words: accountability, adoration, altruism, calmness, camaraderie, chastity, commitment, decisiveness, dexterity, and empathy. These are the values which we teach. And nowadays, with this COVID situation, these values become all the more important. So today my topic is arts and sports integration in language teaching and learning process. Now, we all know children are very curious by nature. And when they are small, they engage in play with objects and they respond to music, rhythm, and colors. Right from childhood, we have seen that they are happy in the interplay of light, sound, movement, shadows, shape, and colors. And whatever is visual and whatever they can touch, these experiences, they help children to develop very holistically. And the young children, they scribble, they stack. These are the first representations of the inner realities that emerge. And imaginative stories, if you give them a chance, they are going to describe their artwork in the wildest of imagination which we can have. Right, teachers, if you see these this slide, what do you gather from this?
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, it is a Glavia story, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am. Shivani.
Good morning. Yes, Shivani ma'am, good morning.
Ma'am, this is all
It
related
tells us
to
about the Gurukul and the changes which have been brought before
Okay.
freedom and after freedom, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yes, Shivani ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, this is regarding the integration of sports during that time even.
Right.
You can see archery and all sort of sports were played during that time.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yes.
Very true. If we
Ma'am,
see, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Learning while doing.
Like learning while doing. True.
By
So
doing.
during the time of the Gurukuls, the education system, our education system integrated everything like sports integration, the art integration, joyful learning, what we are trying to do today. And when they switched over to the colonial era, the system of education changed altogether. Because in the colonial era, people wanted, the Britishers, they wanted babus. And they wanted the people should be born Indian, but their mindset should be British, so that they can listen to what the Britishers say. And even during the like we start education in the childhood, but they started the downward filtration theory. I'm sure you all would be knowing the downward filtration theory, that they taught 10 people. They said each person will teach 10 people. So this way people will be educated. But when the people became educated, the richer ones, they stopped teaching the poorer ones, and as a result, and the education system in India suffered a lot during the colonial era. So art integrated teaching, this is what we were talking, that it has been an integral part of the Indian education system. We believed in joyful learning, activity-based learning, fun games and studies, sports integrated learning, inquiry-based learning, and collaborative learning, and assessment also by learning and learning by doing. So these are exactly what we are going back to nowadays. Even Rabindranath Tagore, he pioneered the idea of relationship between art and learning. And many of his thoughts were penned down by his student Devi Prasad in Art, the Basis of Education, which is his book, which was published in 1998. And after that, a lot of research was done in this field by utilizing visual and performing arts in teaching learning process encourages creativity, problem solving ability. So basically the life skills are developed by art integrated learning. So even Swami Vivekananda, he reinforced the concept of learning through experiences of life. He encouraged the theory of constructivism, which suggested that humans construct knowledge and meaning from their own experiences. So until and unless they experience a thing, they will not be able to understand. Even while teaching teachers, if you show the visuals to the children, they will remember it better rather than the theory part. I remember doing it in my class. I was teaching something that is unit 6 of my English reader in class 6, that is Tinseltown. So I was trying to explain, and we were talking of movies and all. And just then I asked one child, you know, in Bhagwan, Amitabh Bachchan worked in which bank? And the child said, yes, ma'am, I see. I said, very surprising. I said, ma'am, we've seen the movie. So the visuals have more impact on the children rather than the theory part. I hope this is clear, teachers. And even
Yes, ma'am.
even some of the Western philosophers like Pestalozzi and Froebel, in their books, they have advocated the importance of art and sport in teaching learning process. They have remarked that artistic, intellectual, moral, and physical education, it should be integrated in teaching learning process because it will develop the head, heart, and body of the child. And according to them, learning in classroom is mostly rote memorization. So these philosophers, they wanted children should whatever children do should be hands-on approach for them. And that is what in January 2019, CBSE informed all the schools that they must adopt and implement the art integrated and sports integrated learning in their teaching learning process. And this would enhance the reflection, critical thinking, creativity, self-direction, and other 21st century skills, which Yogita ma'am already talked in her first session on day 1. So all this was done to make these 21st century ready citizens by empowering them with the competencies to understand, evaluate, interpret, and innovate various real life situations. So this is what the concept of art integration and sports integration was, that art integration, it's a cross-curricular pedagogical approach utilizing various activities, including art forms of art and the basis of learning concept across the subject. And the main reason was to create joyful classrooms and imbibe the Indian ethos in the students and strengthen the linkage between education and culture. Thrust was on experiential learning, and it has to be used as a tool and not to boost art skills. So we are not here to boost those art skills that a child is a very good artist. We have to make sure that the teaching is done through art. And earlier it was used as a supplement. Now it is used as a complement to teach. So then sports integration, it helps in developing skills such as collaboration, self-direction, self-discipline, teamwork, and responsibility. It helps the students to adopt fitness as a lifelong attitude and to achieve the related life skills along with that level of fitness as envisaged in the Fit India movement. So if the student is fit, the learning will be better. And it is to foster holistic development by promoting physical and psychological well-being while also enhancing the cognitive abilities. If you see these two pictures, teachers, which picture do you find is better and why?
Excuse me, ma'am. Second picture is correct picture.
Yes,
And from there, they can learn so many things.
Yes, ma'am. The second picture is better because whatever they are learning by doing. Although may it be art, music, whatever it can be, when they learn by doing, they learn better. And in a traditional classroom, if you see, it is all teacher talk time and the students are passive listeners. But in an art integrated class, the teacher talk time will be less and the students will participate more in their activities, and they will be better learners if they do it while learning by doing. So the emphasis will be on the bigger concepts rather than the textual knowledge. They will get the first-hand knowledge of the whatever they experience, and it will be a lifelong learning for them. And the learning will be more interactive. The more ideas will come out because we as teachers, if we follow the traditional methods, we have stereotyped ideas in our minds. But the children, you won't believe, they come up with the most brilliant of ideas if given a chance. So that is what we have to do in art integrated learning. We have to give chance to the children to speak, children to think out of the box solutions. And then only we can prepare 21st century citizens. So when we talk of language is the connecting tissue that binds a society together. So that is why teaching of language is very important. And it allows us to express the ideas, feelings, and influence the attitude of others. And the language also allows people to get knowledge that makes us literate. And all the literacy skills, effective literacy skills, they permit students to develop a full sense of themselves as individuals. They get to know that they are individuals and they will be heard and they will become effective citizens of the society. So now when we focus on art integration, first we'll begin with art integration. In language teaching and learning, our main emphasis will be to shift learning from the rote method, connect knowledge to life outside the school, experiential learning, to integrate examination into classroom learning. So we need not have the tests and all to check what the student has learned. It can be in the classroom itself. It can be an ongoing process. Like we used to have the formative and summative. Formative was an ongoing process, whatever the child was learning. So that is what we can continue in our classes. And most importantly, learning without burden. Because if the child is burdened, the learning will never be joyful for the children. So it has to be a stress-free learning. And learning should be an enjoyable act where children should feel that they are valued and their voices are heard. Don't you think till before the lockdown last year, we were doing this to the kids, only giving them bookish knowledge, and they were vomiting out whatever was taught, and they were given degrees and promoted to the next class? This is exactly what we had been doing. So art integrated learning tells us that we have to stop doing this. And I'm sure this online teaching has really helped us a lot to integrate this art integrated learning in our teaching learning process. It has been
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Here I would like to say it's a very good point you have brought up, because we all feel COVID is a problem, but it's nice that we need to take it as a boon, because
it has been a blessing in disguise, ma'am. Yes, no doubt.
Because we all have developed further skills, not just us, and as you mentioned, the students, they are brilliant, they are coming up with wonderful ideas, and it's really nice.
In fact, ma'am, like when I used to teach, I used to incorporate videos in my PPTs. The voice is not audible then. So it was the students who told me, ma'am, you do this way, and then the voice will be audible. So children tell you so many things.
That's why I said yesterday, never do it alone.
Never do it alone. Yes, very true. So in fact, the children know more than us. And they can, you won't believe, you give them one idea and they come up with 30 more ideas, 30, 40 more ideas on the same topic.
In fact, the students feel that we are teaching our teachers. They
Very
feel so happy with that.
Yes, when they tell us something, they really feel happy that yes, ma'am,
in that manner, they can tell us more and more, and
exactly,
the classroom will be more active.
Exactly. So this is exactly what we have just been doing. That pedagogy of experiential learning with the connective pathways towards reaching and teaching every child by doing. And of course, art integrated activity is a research-based curricular strategy. The child does a lot of research work before presenting anything. So naturally, the learning becomes better. It enhances the communication skills and problem-solving skills of the children. And art integrated learning teaches, it fosters inquisitive attitude among the children. They want to learn more. They want to get more. They just don't want to stop at one point. They want to go ahead with that research work. And it allows them free expression and creative involvement. And one thing which is very important in art learning is learning through the arts and with the arts. So learning through the arts and with the art, learning through the arts would be that it is an active participation in art by the child. When he learns a concept and he tries to go into deep into that concept. And language teachers, we as language teachers, we can tell them while we teach the literature part, we can tell a child to become the character. We are doing that in the class. The role plays we are doing in the class. We can tell the child to become a character of the story and interact with other students. And they can make up their own scripts. Give them the idea of the story and they can make up their own scripts, and they can integrate art. And like Aarti ma'am was telling yesterday, that children present plays online. That is a novel idea. That is a wonderful idea what children have adopted. So this is how they are interacting. Even during the period when they're staying at home, they are still in interaction with their friends. So they tend to learn better. And learning with arts means that they make observation, they make connections with the art forms. For example, when I teach the interrogative and declarative sentences, I always take up music, because in the music, and mostly the songs which I try to find out, which are question answer based songs. So even at times I do it in Hindi also. So then I tell them that whenever a question is put, the pitch is high, and whenever an answer is given, the pitch is lower. So they tend to understand that on the high pitch, it will be an interrogative sentence. On a lower pitch, it will be a declarative or an assertive sentence. So the learning becomes better. The children have got really involved whenever, since I've been doing this from class 6 onwards. So when I do it in class 7, class 8, the children know the idea. They say, yes, ma'am, we will find out the songs ourselves. And they tend to find out those songs. So this is how they have got involved in the art integrated learning. So this I've already talked about, that it makes art integration makes learning joyful. It has a positive impact on the development of the life skills, and it broadens the mindset of the children, and it helps them to derive meaning directly from the learning experience. Now, these were some of the activities which I did in class this year. The first one was from 3 questions, and I told them to make finger puppets, and they had to perform. The child had to perform, and when a single child, like in the form of a mono acting, they did, and they performed the role of the bearded man, the king, and the hermit. It was quite a successful activity in the class. And this was Granny's tree climbing. They made for the grandmother, they made cards, and they thanked the grandmother for whatever they have done. So these creative arts, they are hand-on experiences, and the children become very active. This is one very important factor of art integrated learning, that the children tend to become very, very active. And they practice, they develop their own language skills. And even if you teach us that, I don't know, you have noticed this during this lockdown, many of our students have started their own YouTube channels on which they do different things. So this is how they become more and more inquisitive by this integration of art in their learning. And one of my students, he started his channel. So whatever activities we do in the class, he gives lessons to the other children how to go about making those things, like the puppets were made. And yesterday only he was making best out of waste. He was making a lamp. That is what I was seeing. So children have become very, very innovative by this art integration in their learning. So if you see this YouTube, here the children have presented poetry, and they had selfies with their favorite books. All right. Before we go further, teachers, I would like to ask, can anybody tell me what is English? What is English? We all are teachers of English. What is English basically? So yes, Sujata ma'am is saying something. English is a language, okay. What else?
Ma'am, English is a language.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a medium.
Okay.
It is like any other language in the world. It can be
Right.
Hindi, it can be Sanskrit, which is used for communication.
Yeah, right.
It is basically used for communication in all forms.
Yes, Anupama ma'am, absolutely. This is, but when
Yeah.
sorry, yes, please go ahead, Anupama ma'am.
It's a structured system of doing things,
Okay,
and which can be used for expression as well as for absorbing.
right, ma'am. Yes, Prashant sir. Sorry, Prashant sir, please.
Now, CLT, communicative language equals to English is now. English, there is no, English is dead, and there are Englishes.
Okay. So most of the time, this is what the answers I get, or I get the answers. English is prose, poetry, and grammar. But for me, English is not prose, poetry, or grammar.
English is a language, ma'am, that makes you a world citizen.
Okay. English is basically listening, the 4 skills to me. English is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. When we talk of prose, poems, grammar, they are just vehicles to transact these skills. If you listen correctly, you speak correctly. If you read correctly, you write correctly. This is what, and yesterday, of course, Aarti ma'am did talk of these 4 skills. So these 4 skills basically are are English for me. So I'll just go further. And art, it constitutes of these 5 things: craft, theater, music, dance, and visuals. Now, if you see, like I was talking, that English is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. This we can take from the newspapers. We were talking of newspapers yesterday, Aarti ma'am. Anupama madam had given this idea.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is a random cartoon which I've picked up from the newspaper. And through this cartoon only, we can develop the listening, speaking, and writing skills of the children. We can show this picture to any picture for that matter. We can show the picture to the children. We can tell them to listen to some of the things which we read out. Like I have just written, Simi shouts at Rohit, as Simi shouts as Rohit is running after her. So they get to know what picture which is the picture I'm talking about. Or Rakhi realizes that Rajat is confused. So they will definitely form pictures and they will try to understand, they will try to listen carefully what the teacher is saying. When we do the listening activity in class 9th and 10th also and 8th also, we tend to read the thing twice to them so that they listen carefully. So through this cartoon, we can develop the listening skills of the children. Then speaking skills also, once they see the picture, we can tell them to describe the picture. This will be the speaking skills. And then they can write a short story related to the picture. So one picture can help us develop at least 3 skills of the children. And for the reading, we can use comprehension passages, which can be related to art or anything that will help them to do the comprehending part.
Shalja ma'am, sorry to intervene.
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
I really like this activity because it
Yes,
is of all the 4 skills. That is something really, really appreciable. I mean, this is really a good one.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So if we go further, like how to use the art to develop spoken English. You can choose any story with different characters. Then after that, write some vocabulary words on the blackboard or on the, of course, Jamboard, which we are using these days. And then, like I took up a story about animals. So I wrote the names of number of animals on the board. And I asked the children to make the masks or costumes for those animals. And then I use the art words, different like cut, paste, paint, draw, shape, and some adjectives. So when the students, they worked on their masks and all, we encourage them to use English words as much as possible with the teacher and with each other. Use English for making suggestions, agreement, disagreement. And at the end of the lesson, when we ask the children to write the words and sentences in their notebooks, they have to describe the masks and the costumes in English. So art and craft lessons, they have the potential to include all the students, even the ones with learning disabilities. I'm sure teachers, we are doing all these things in the class, and the more children we involve, and we've seen that the children with the disabilities, they tend to be better in the presentation of art. Like Aarti ma'am was telling yesterday that one child was very good at art and you did not know it. So many children with the disabilities in my class also, they are very good at art and they express themselves beautifully through art.
Yes, ma'am, because they get a platform to express themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
They need recognition, they need appreciation, so they get that platform.
And then we can also assess the students. Like right now we are doing online teaching, but when in class, we can always prepare a chart, and it can be it can have the student's name, the child who uses English frequently, occasionally uses sentences occasionally, or he attempts to use English, and every time we can give them a star when they go further. So this way the children will be encouraged to speak English also. So through the medium of art, we can help our children become better speakers also. This was the art integrated activity which we did in class. This was for the chapter number 1 of class 7. There's Monkey Trouble, grandfather's mask was made by the children, and then this the puppets, like I told you. So the children came up with different ideas. Now, art, talk, and writing. Again, we can show a picture to the children. You can of course describe the picture in bilingually if you want to, and then you can give the fill-ups to the students to see the picture, give the words also, and they will try to fill them up. So this can be reading practices, reading passages can be practiced in this way. Same way, a picture can be given. They have to write a short passage, and then after writing the short passage, you choose some words and phrases from the passage and give them fill-ups. So they can go about writing the paragraph. They can complete the paragraph in this manner. These are some of the activities which you can do for art integration. Of course, role play, dialogue, conversation. We are doing most of the activities, teachers. All these activities are being done by us in some way or the other in our classrooms. So nothing new for us, but it is a learning process. We can come up with better ideas. These are some of the activities which were done in class by me. For Birdie Will You Pet, it was a dialogue writing for the role play. There was a sequencing of story also. And this is one activity which is my favorite, calligram. The children, they write beautiful calligrams now, class 6, 7th, 8th children. They are very, very innovative and they come up with new ideas every time. Then of course, story mapping is there, character sketch. Character wheel you can do, talks and visits can be there. Comic strip making is another one. So in all these activities, and one activity which I really like in my class is how to write a recipe. With class 8 students, I tend to do this when we do process writing also. They write they write the instructions for the recipe themselves, and we can also form a word wall. We find new words in the recipe. This way the children will learn new words. These are some of the list of suggested activities. And now for sports integrated activities. Sports integration is very important as far as we
Can you please repeat the last slide? Sorry for disturbing you.
Last slide, ma'am.
Yeah,
the activities.
Yeah.
These are the list of suggested activities.
Repeat the previous one.
This is how to write a recipe, and you can make a word wall. See, ingredients will be nouns, then verbs can be used. So this way we can teach them nouns and verbs both. So in sports integration, like I was talking about some of the philosophers, Froebel, he said that play is the highest development, for it gives the child free expression of what is in his mind. And he gave the play theory to us. And in this, he says that a child's interest should be developed learning. They should develop learning through play, because according to him, games and sports was not idle time wasting. They were the most important steps in the development of a child. Many of his ideas on importance of play and learning through nature are even in practice today. And he said that child-centric activity was very important, and the teacher should give the children the freedom to explore, discover, and create for themselves, and just be their motivators and guides. Let the children come out with their solutions themselves. So the focus should be more on development through play rather than structured teaching. Teachers must be facilitators, and outdoor learning is very important. We confine the children to the classrooms most of the time, and the outdoor learning is very less, because we have this habit, teachers, that if a child is interested in playing, we always say, you remain busy with the play and don't study. But that is not the case. The child will become a better person. After all, we have to develop citizens of the 21st century. So this can be integration of sports can be a very important tool in producing 21st century effective 21st century citizens. Now, have you ever heard anyone learning or swimming, learning to swim or playing a guitar only by reading a book? Yes, by reading a book, I'm going to learn to play the guitar or I'm going to learn swimming. This is simply impossible until you do it practically. So if we accept that this is impossible for the children to learn sports or art with only theory, how can we expect our children to learn everything from the books only? We have to give them practical knowledge. So this is where experiential learning comes in, and experiential learning is nothing other than learning by doing. Now, adding sports to language learning is a welcome change for the students because children are hyperactive. And when we integrate sports with their language learning, their hyperactivity, their energies are channelized. And we can develop all the forms of speaking, listening, reading, and writing as a part of physical education lessons and extracurricular activities. And sports, if we integrate in our learning, it varies the routine of the children. So rather than becoming trapped in the four walls of the classroom, they go outside, sweat, play the game, and change up the traditional school routine, which is a recipe for success in children's language learning. And when they play also, we should tell them that, okay, use some English words for the rules of the play. That would become easier for them to learn. And they have short attention spans. So if we incorporate different activities into learning, we can ensure that the children are checked in rather than zoned out. And sports and games may not be outdoor only. Even indoor games can really channelize their energies. And then it improves the memory of the children. It is seen that when we integrate sports, the memory of the children becomes better. The high intensity exercise, it gives a jump start to the brain. So running, football, baseball drills, swimming in the pool, climbing a rock, all they result in better improvement of the brain's ability, and it helps in better retention of the things. And when it comes down to it, memorization, of course, is one of the basic building blocks of language learning. So sports and learning, those new vocabulary words always go hand in hand. And they remember it for a longer time. If they do it through sports, it will be better. The retention will be better. Again, like art puts language into real world context, even sports puts language into real world context. When we combine language with an activity, it shows how the language can be put in a practical use. And one thing, the teacher explains to students how this will really come in handy in their future. Of course, the teacher has to explain that if we are playing this sport, how it will come handy in their future use of language. It can be communicating with a teammate, or it can be following the coach's orders. So you have to really think hard yourself if you want to get the kids engaged with language integrated with sports. Sports also focuses the mind. The focus of the child becomes better when the child plays the sports. Like we talked of hyperactive students. So by sandwiching the class time between sports and sports, students will come to the class feeling relaxed. Most of the time we've seen that after the recess period, of course, the children are sweating and all, but when they come to the class, they are rejuvenated. But then after 1 or 2 periods, of course, they again wilt down. So sports is an energy booster for the students to do the learning also. So if we incorporate sports in our language teaching and learning, the learners become more confident and motivated. It gives immense benefit to learners. It promotes active learning in any kind of environment. And it not only enhances the learning of English, but also intellectual, physical, and social development of the learners. There was a study in May 2017. It was conducted among the students, and the researchers tested upon 2 groups. One which learned English vocabulary while riding stationary bicycles, and other who learned the vocabulary while sitting on the traditional desk. And teachers, you will be surprised to know that the results that the group which exercised while learning the answer gave the higher percentage of answers correctly than the ones who were sitting on the traditional desks. So after analyzing, even the scientists stated that kids learn languages faster by doing sports. So kids plus language plus sports is a formula that really works. It really, really works. So since the classrooms of today are not equipped with those stationary bicycles, we can take up the sports during lunch break or after school to give them the energy booster. Then integration of sports teaches us teamwork. When we give them projects, they learn to work in a team. So language learn can also be used as an idea for team activities and games. Further, we have some students who find visual games easier while others prefer auditory activities. In either case, the goal is the same. So you might be having many students in your classes also who understand better than if you play games in the class. If you show them visual games, they understand better. Some would listen and respond better. Does that happen in your class, teachers?
Yes, ma'am, it happens.
It does happen in our classes, of course.
Yes.
And mostly we've seen that the children with the disabilities, they tend to understand better when we show them something. Their understanding becomes a little better. But the other children, when they listen also, their performance is good. So if in case of visual learners, we can play the game such as Pictionary, which will be very, very, very useful. And it can start from easy. When we take up in the junior classes, easy words can be taken up. When we go to the senior classes, the difficult topics can be taken up. And for auditory learners, we can play Chinese whisper, first letter, last letter. The word train can be played with them. And the children tend to learn better because they will be coming up with the wrong words also. But they will be making an effort to find words with the last alphabet. So this word train is a very successful activity and children really get engrossed in this activity and enjoy themselves. And this is what our motive is. So the method of teaching English through sports activities, this is again a study done by a study. It was done on a class which consisted of 15 learners. And the classroom was first introduced to the general information or history about a particular sport, maybe badminton or basketball. Then discussions in small groups were conducted on that sport, in which they would be participating in outdoors or at the sports complex. And by the end of the class, they had become familiar with the vocabulary related to the sports activities. In the follow-up lesson, they began the sports activity, and the observations were made by the instructor to ensure the learners used only English throughout their activity when interacting with people around them. And after the activity, the learners were asked to describe their feelings, surrounding, and the rules in English. So it was found that the learners were more expressive in English language after the sports activity. They were more confident, more motivated, rather than they were in the classroom. So there was also better social interaction among the classmates. And of course, not to mention the improvement in the use of language skills. So it is observed that kinesthetic learners will benefit at a higher rate by sports integrated activities than they would do in a normal classroom. And play and movement also enables the learners via the entire sensory motor system. If used judiciously in our education process, it will accelerate the learning, definitely. Worksheets concerning all, like I talked in the art integrated activity, we can take up a cartoon related to sports. So we can give them a worksheet and definitely they will come up with something different. And another way that students can develop their English skills through sports is by using booklets, which can be introduced in our classrooms. And students should be, one thing which is very important, that even while they play sports, we should encourage students for constructive criticism when they make a mistake. So this will improve their confidence. So we can tell them that they can, if somebody criticizes, take it positively, and they will feel motivated, and they will be motivated to do better. So games which really work are the game shows, action games, sports, cartoon races, and 2 chairs. So this is just the description of these games. The game shows can be like yesterday only ma'am was saying who will become champion. Shivani ma'am was saying. So this we can take up. We can say, like I said, that buy a vowel. So we can make a spinning wheel, and they can we can tell them to buy a vowel, and then they can spell some words which has that vowels. It can be a greater way to teach them vocabulary rather than the teacher over pressurizing herself. The children will come up with better ideas. Then action games can be there for like if they like to move around. The children have very small, short attention span. So with younger students, to make them involved in the classrooms, games involving mimes, they can be used for vocabulary. It is a great way of teaching progressive tenses. When we do action games, we can do the action. We can tell one child to do the action, and the other child can say what the child is doing. So when we do the continuous tense, these action games really are very, very handy. Then sports quiz can be there. Cartoon races. We can make teams, draw a cartoon character to represent them, and then draw a grid of lines across the board and stick the character at the start of the grid. And then we can ask the children, okay, name 5 things which are normally white, name 8 things with wheels, name some things which are positive and negative personal characteristics. And then this is again vocabulary enhancing, and the child will move 2 points once they give the correct answer. And 2 chairs is nothing else but dumb charades. 2 children will be still sitting with their backs towards the blackboard. Word will be written on the blackboard, and the other team will be acting out the word, and the children will try to find out. And this is what you all can do while jogging. You can discuss a book, so their skills will enhance. You can read while exercising on stationary bikes or while stretching on a yoga mat. You can exchange ideas while walking around, or you can walk and also memorize a poem. So this is how the sports will help us in learning. These are some of the games which I have taken up, like word games we did talk. Tongue twisters are a great way to, and this activity will help children a lot in their spoken English. Jokes and riddles, homonyms, storytelling, and songs. Then we can talk of idioms about sports, some comparative speaking board games. Sorry. Then we can teach verbs through motion. This is what I think most of us do in the class when we are to teach the verbs. We call the children to the front, and we tell the children to do some actions. Don't we do it jumping, running? And this is how we can integrate the sports vocabulary in our teaching of English. Then reading and acting verb competition can be there. This can be done in teams, and you can you can select the best team that performs the action better. And twister variations can be there, and these variations students have to move and think.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, could you please show me the previous slide?
Which slide, ma'am?
Related to idioms.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
The previous one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
these are the idioms related to sports. Then jump to the front is another game which we can incorporate while teaching of English. This game works with a group of 3 to 5 students. The classes teams are made, and points are awarded on the result of each round. And with other games, you can hold a picture and have the students say or write the corresponding word or phrase. Of course, we can take up the sports pictures. And the first students who answers correctly jumps a space ahead. Then at each jump forward, there should be a card that each student must pick up and read. If the student reads it correctly, he or she stays on the spot for the next question. So this is how they can move forward, and this not only will keep the children engaged in the class. They will not be bored. They will be looking forward to these kind of classes. The period of these teachers who will take up these kind of sports and games in their classes. And then one activity which I really like is the running dictation. In this, a short passage or dialogue is taken. Several copies are made, and these copies are put around the walls of the classroom, or even somewhere in the corridor. Of course, there will be a lot of noise, but you have to take principal ma'am into confidence that in my class there will be some noise. So the students are put in pairs or in small groups, and the aim of this is that one student in each pair will walk or run to read the passage on the wall, and then dictate what they remember. Then come back and dictate what they read to their partner, who writes it down, and then they swap the roles. And this is done 2 or 3 times, and so that finally we get a paragraph and the children will read the paragraph. And a very good idea is to teach punctuation through this running dictation. We can teach punctuation through running dictation, because when we give the instructions, we have to tell the children that when you read the paragraph, you have to remember the punctuation marks, because otherwise the meaning of the paragraph might just change. So rotating, this is a picture for running dictation. Then of course, speeches is another point which we can take, and speeches related to sports, drugs and sports material, or sports using animals, area of wildlife or environment, Olympic games, dangerous sports, media and sports. And when the children play, they will try to find out a lot of material on this. These are some of the activities which you can do. Listen to the commentaries of different sports and then try to deduce which sports they are, only by listening to them. So listening skills will be developed. Speak about your favorite sport or sports person for speaking skills. Making sports collages will be art integrated. Make and describe your own game. This is critical thinking and creativity. And interviewing players and becoming a commentator. Then some of the board games. This board game of snakes and ladders is very interesting, because this is for they have to correct the errors. There are errors given. If they correct the errors, they go up the stairs ladder, and if they give a wrong answer, they come down. They come down from the snake's mouth. So that's about all, teachers. We are attempting to shift the emphasis from testing to holistic learning throughout arts and sports integration in language teaching and learning process. And we have to remember that arts and sports have to be used as teaching tools. We don't have to boost these skills. Earlier, we used them as supplement, and now we use art and sports, which will complement our teaching. So finally, we have to accept that art and sports is a medium of learning process. So that is all from my side, teachers. If you have any ideas, you can please go ahead. And there is a feedback form and the questionnaire, please fill that. So I would like to get your ideas, teachers.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, sports integration will be implemented inside the school only, no?
Yes, ma'am, it has been. It was in May 2019 when the first circular of CABSC had come, that we have to integrate sports with our teaching learning process.
No, ma'am, actually, how can we implement in the online classes?
Ma'am, in the online classes, we can play these board games with the children, which I just discussed for, like we do this editing and omission. So we can make these sports and ladders game with some with errors. If the child gives the right answer, we tell them to go at this is how we can do it, ma'am.
Shelda ma'am, I would like to add in here.
Yes, Aarti ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. If you remember the story, a stormy adventure.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there is, when there is the turbulence, and it talks about that I think the rack did a solo jig. There is this line. So, at that time, we want to bring, we want to tell the children that what is a jig. And as Snigdha ma'am has asked, how can we introduce sports out there? Snigdha ma'am, some of my students, they came up with wonderful cartwheels and they did it online. They showed it that, ma'am, this is what exactly it means to go, everything was go karting. So I asked them, I said, are you aware what are cartwheels?
Yes,
So
yes.
we had some, wonderful performance, online performance. Children just got up from their seat and said, yes, ma'am, we know how to go cartwheels and we are going to show it to you. So, as you mentioned, kinesthetic learners, they need that break, they need that breather. It really comes as a breath of fresh air. So, Nigla ma'am, I think we can introduce sports even in online classes. It's just that we have to be a bit creative.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shalja ma'am. It was indeed a very informative and informative session, because
you, ma'am.
as just now ma'am said that how can we do it? That question does arise.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
to integrate arts we all have been doing all the time, but
Yes, ma'am.
sports is a tricky thing. But I think, like Aarti ma'am said, if we are little creative, little innovative, think out of box, it can be done. For junior classes, there are a number of ways we can do it, like there's a scavenger hunts are there even for the
Yes,
senior
ma'am.
kids. You can do that. There are you can integrate bouncing of ball with answering of questions, or you can have things. A lot of things can be done. It has to be the innovation of the teacher how to go about it. This is a
Ma'am,
sad
see,
situation, and
in
we really
online,
hope that this won't continue for long. We
in
really hope
on
that we are
ma'am,
back.
in online classes what happens is that we can't take the children outdoor, so we have to think of some indoor games which we can incorporate in our teaching.
Wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
They can, like I talked of the word games, or they can be damsharads also, ma'am. We can do damsharads also with the children. So this is sports does not mean outdoor sports only. They can be indoor games also. They can be board games also. We can incorporate any game as such. Riddles can be another one. The basic thing is that we have to make sure that the children learn the language. That is what we want. Integration would mean that we have to teach them that they should know the language. So like I said, that they can make their own game and describe it. They will definitely try speaking in English. The spoken skills will be enhanced.
Yes, Shelter ma'am, I absolutely agree with what you are saying.
Ma'am, another game which I just came up with, that is
Yes, ma'am.
darting balloons, in
Yes,
which
ma'am.
some words, synonyms or antonyms can be given to the student.
Very
so
true.
that
Yes, ma'am.
it's the right target, as
Right.
suggested earlier in the previous session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Even that one, then the hopscotch one, which that is, of course, we have to do it outdoor. We
Right.
can't do it indoor. But the children can do. The brothers sisters can do amongst themselves.
Yes,
Yes,
at
yes, and
home
they can record their activity and share it online.
Right. This is how they can do it. Like the one which I said, that they can make their own game. So they will try making a game and they will try to share it in the class also.
Thank you so much, Shelda ma'am. Wonderful session, really
Thank you,
nice
Aarti
and
ma'am.
informative.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
nice session and giving us so much very nice activities and for this knowledgeable session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
ma'am. Thank you very much. And
Should
teachers,
I
please.
end the session, ma'am?
I think so, ma'am. I'm over with it, and I would like to thank my Mrs. Jaya Bharadwaj and our principal, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailaja ma'am. It was a very good and very informative session. Thank you.
you.